I wanted to open something by myself, where I would be my own boss. But at the same time, I didn't want to take too many risks, and I thought that opening a franchise would be a right mix to have my own business.
Then he approached me, and then he proposed the idea of having to be in partnership and open a business together, because I could see a future in the franchise business. It's something that and both of us will never own our own business, and it's something basically is challenging, of course.
Well, before I worked for many years in Royal Mail. I started as a regular postman and then worked through the ranks. I've acquired quite a few skills in Royal Mail, and I hope, and it actually worked, to use them then in this environment, if I can say. At the beginning I thought to take a loan, but then I realized that I have enough funds by myself. And then with Cody's involvement, it wasn't to put all the capital just by myself, and I put a percentage, and Cody had to put the rest. So we didn't take any loan, and we completely funded it with our own savings. We had 3-4 weeks in training in the Reading store, which was the Pack and Send main store back then. And there we had the opportunity to get in contact with customers and to actually have a feel of how a day would be in a Pack and Send environment. I have to say that this probably gave us, was the most useful for us, because when we started then our own Pack and Send, we already had an idea of how to operate the franchise. Sometimes we have days when we spend most of our time packing, and sometimes we spend most of our day outside doing collections. So it's very varied, so it's always, there is not a typical day, and every day is very different, because that's the nature of what we do. The first and the main challenge we had was to find a suitable location for our store. Once we've done that, I have to say that the challenges were not as big as our initial one, and I think that is probably the main challenge we faced.
Opening a business as such a franchise, it needs a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and a lot of hours you need to put in. But at the end of the day, that is what business is all about, is challenge yourself.
I mean, of course, feeling in charge of what we do and how we do it is a very important thing for us. Having your own business brings this with it, that you don't have a salary, and what you make it depends on the amount of business that you manage to get. Yeah, the biggest surprise was the amount of knowledge and the amount of forms that you need to know about when sending internationally. Depending on what you send and where you send it, you may be required to fill in certain forms. There are CITs, Euro 1, for personal effects, there are the personal effects forms. This is something that I did not expect, I didn't know, and it was the biggest surprise for me. My advice would be to be prepared and open the store once you are fully satisfied with the training that you received. So the advice is to work hard, be prepared to work hard, because if you do it, then the rewards are going to be very high.
And there are the ups and downs, of course, in any kind of business, but with Pack and Send, I mean, you know there are a lot of support out there, if you need support, of course, but you need to put a lot of hours in as well to make it, to make the business worthwhile for you.
Well, we've been trading now for 3 years, and we've been growing constantly since we've opened, and we plan to keep growing from this store, and we are thinking about opening possibly another Pack and Send franchise somewhere, either in London or outside. Yes, I would do it again. I think the franchise model for somebody who's got a family is probably the most secure path to take. And differently, well, as already mentioned, the biggest problem we had was finding a store, and perhaps doing some research about the store location beforehand, so that it doesn't become a stressful activity looking for a store.